Meanwhile, as we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more music. Thank you again for tuning in. This is Promise. If you guys like my casting, please don't hesitate to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/sa2promise. Also, click the follow button on my twitch.tv channel. I'll be back in just a few minutes with game number 2 between Creator Prime and Empire Cass. Alright guys, we are getting into game number 2 between Empire Cass and Creator Prime. Game 1 went to Creator Prime. He's up 1-0 in this best of 5 series. Game number 2 will be played here on WCS Shakira's Plateau. My name is Promise. I hope you guys are enjoying the commentary. Game number 2 on its way. Alright guys, welcome to Game 2 between Empire Cass and Creator Prime. We have the Korean Protoss currently up 1-0 in this best of 5 series. Is he going to go up 2-0 or is Cass going to tie it up 1-1? Let me know in the chat. I am reading the chat, guys. Don't be shy. I can multitask. I can do both at the same time. All I'm seeing is people asking for the song. So I will link this song later on. Or the previous song that I was playing, I'll link it later on. But let's go ahead and introduce our players in the upper left position. Spawning as the blue Protoss, we do have Empire Cass. I'm just kidding, it's not Empire Cass. It's going to be Creator Prime, guys. And in the upper right position, playing as the green Terran opponent, we do have Empire Cass. PBT on Shakira's Plateau. Pretty good map. I will say, pretty good map for Terran. Why I say it's a good map for Terran, I will explain. The reason why this is a good map for Terran is, actually, even in these positions, it's really good for Terran. So, medevac drops, of course, guys, can be a pain in the butt to deal with, right? I mean, when you kind of have medevacs dropping in this location, even if you hide a medevac here and you don't have any kind of vision and drop out medevac in this location, or even like in this location, it can be very, very hard to defend as a Protoss player. Sort of like a PvZ, the natural, very simple to take, very easy to take for both races. And Protoss players can be caught off guard yet again between the natural, between the third, and between the actual main base. So this can be a very good map for drops, and this is pretty much the locations and the positions you want to have if you want to go for any kind of early medevac drops. But let's talk a little bit about Creator Prime's opening. Rather risky, actually pretty risky. Now when he scouts these positions, you might kind of think he might be in a lot of trouble. Maybe he's even going to throw down a bunch of gateways behind this, but his opening is going to be gateway into Nexus, or maybe even Nexus first into gateway. I'm not really too sure what it was. I think it was gateway into Nexus, and then once that gateway finishes, he's going to get a cybernetics core. So think if Cass is going for any kind of early pressure, Creator would not be ready at all. He might even just die. But given the fact that Cass is opening up with a 1 Rax, actually command center first, so they're probably going to be a little bit on even footing in terms of economy. 2 Raxes have been added for Cass. We do see Orbital Command on its way for the Terran player. Nexus has completed for the Protoss, aka Creator Prime, and the Cybernetics course on its way. So, very, very standard. And I love this build. The reason why I love this build is you're not gonna have a lot of units, of course. That's like the not the benefit of the build, but you're gonna have such a sick economy going into the later stages of the game. When you go for a Nexus first like this, you have a bunch of options. You can go for a 2-base timing, even like a plus 1 8-gate blink, or even like a +1 just 8-gate without even blink. Or you can go for a more economy game where you take a rather quick third, get a robotics facility, get an observer, scout out your opponent. But generally with this Nexus first, you do see a 2-base timing, maybe even followed by a third. But let's talk about a little bit about the opening of Cass. The command center has completed, 2 racks also completed. We are seeing a tech lab being added to one of the raxes, as well as a 3rd barracks being added for Cass. He's going to have a lot of Marines on the map. And is he going to go for a very quick stim, or is he going to go for possibly a very quick combat shield? The fact he's getting a lot of Marines, I would think he's going to go for combat shield first. I might be wrong, but I think he's going to go for combat shield first. Actually, it's going to be concussive shells. Okay, and there's a Marauder on its way. So, going to be very quick concussive. Meanwhile, back home for Creator Prime, 2 gases taking very, very quickly for the Protoss. What is he going to add? Going for Twilight. This is not going to be DTs, guys. It's going to be Blink. He doesn't have a lot of gas to go ahead and invest heavily into that Dark Shrine. Going to go ahead and add a 2nd gateway. Twilight has completed. He's also trying to get as many units on the map as possible. Actually, is he going to go Blink? He went for 2 gateways here. Yeah, actually, no, not even Blink. What am I saying? He's going to go for DTs. Of course he's going DTs. He has these 2 gases in the natural. Where is the Dark Shrine? There it is. Dark Shrine on the way right now for Creator Prime. Meanwhile, Cass doing similar opening to game number 1, getting a very quick evolution engineering bay. We do see infantry weapons level 1 on its way, factory on its way. So we're also going to see some medevacs on the map rather soon. And Cass can have a timing. He can sort of go on and put a little bit of aggression onto his opponent. Both players are even in supply. 55 to 54 is the current supply of our players. 2 additional gateways being added. Stim on its way. Additional Marines in production. Cass moving across the map with a nice size army. 12 Marines, 2 Marauders. He's not going to kill his opponent with this, but he wants to put on some aggression. And that is not a lot of units right now for Creator. Now, Cass just wants to test the ramp. He doesn't want to overextend. He isn't going to get force fielded. A few of these Marines and Marauders are going to get stuck here. Great force fields overall there by Creator Prime. Dark Shrine is almost complete, and this is going to be so huge for Cass. There's already pylons in position. Creator needs to warp in some DTs as quickly as possible. And Cass, is he going to be ready for this? Is Cass going to be ready for this? Are there any turrets on the map? I don't think there's any turrets. Does he have any energy on these command centers? Okay, there's a turret. There has to be a turret. I heard something. Okay, there's a turret. Beautiful, beautiful read by Cass. That is so smart by the Terran player. And I love the positioning by the turret, like right on the high ground where it can see like this area in case of any kind of DTs coming in. Very well placed turret by Cass. And what's the response by Prime, or by Creator? He's actually going to take a 3rd. And this is a good response. Why is it a good response, you might ask me, is he invested a lot into this DT. He wants to sort of be in an advantage. He's not really in even footing right now. Cass has a little bit of an advantage because he did also deny these DTs from doing anything to his economy. So Creator kind of has to switch his tech around. He's getting charge. We're seeing additional DTs being warped in. He can always go for maybe a charge lot Archon composition, which is most likely what we're going to be seeing here from Creator. Meanwhile, back home for Cass, we do see another engineering bay on its way. There it is. Armory on its way. Going to add on a few more barracks. Cass even going to move across here with a few medevacs. And Cass wants to do some drop. He wants to do some drop action. And there it is. Drops making their way. Now, is Creator going to be ready for this? Vac Factory actually going to scout into the main base. Going to see everything. He sees the Twilight. Getting chrono boosted. Most likely going to think it is indeed charge. Possibly going to be Blink, but it is in fact charge. Followed up by Blink. And there's a few medevacs right now here for Cass. Is Creator going to be ready for this? He does not have a lot of units, and this is 2 medevacs being dropped into the main right now. Stim is completed for Cass. Going to go ahead and try to focus on some of these stalkers. Great use of these microed